Hey folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Second Son Woodworks here on my YouTube channel. Welcome! Today, I'm going to be continuing this series on how I made a family sign using a slab of avocado wood. This is the part 2 of the series. If you haven't seen the first one, hit the link up above. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started on the second part. It's going to be good! As you can see, I am using a DeWalt plunge router, and I have a brass guide bushing installed in the router that will then enable me to use these template guides that are letter shapes. And this is a kit that you can purchase from Rockler or on Amazon. There's a link down in the description below, and it comes with that brass guide bushing as well as the different letters that can be used to then carve pretty much perfect letters, all without a CNC machine and just a few tools that you probably already have in your shop. Now, the trick is to make sure that you get a guide bushing that fits the type of router bit that you want to use. And you can see here that I'm switching out the guide bushing for a larger guide bushing so that I can use a larger router bit. There are a few kits out there, and I'll try to leave one in the description below, of different guide bushings for your router surfacing plate. And so get yourself a pack, and or just rely on the ones that come in the letter template kits from Rockler. The guide bushing goes up against the template guide, the plastic little template guides, so you need to make sure to have those template guides securely fixed onto your work surface that you're going to be carving out. The bottom side of the bushing, the part that actually goes up against those plastic guides, is deep enough so that you can set it into the guide and it will act as the parameter for the router bit that you then move around, and then it's pretty straightforward, and you can get really clean cut letters pretty easily, and it doesn't take that much time. You can see here that I did the 5 letters, the fits, which were a bigger one, bigger letters, pretty quickly. Now, I did make a mistake on the upper letters, the letters that say the, and so you can see here that I'm going to change it out for a little bit of a bigger letter set, and then I'll be recutting those out with the bit. You can see here that I'm using a bit of wood glue and sawdust to patch the holes of the mistakes that I made for the original the. They were just too small. I wanted to make them bigger, so I'm patching them up with some of the sawdust from the wood that I was just cutting and glue. This is a great way to patch things. I do it all the time in the shop. Then when it dries, I went ahead and reattached the letter templates and recarved those. But before doing that, I flipped it over to do the other side. I figured that this sign would be hanging on an arm that would be coming off of the side of the house or the cabin, that they would be having this sign live. But they ended up actually just hanging it on a wall, I believe. So the one side of it is actually covered up, but originally I thought that both sides were going to be exposed, and so it would be almost like a hanging sign that you could see from both sides. So maybe in the future they'll do that. Who knows? In order to make sure that the letters lined up, I used a couple pieces of tape to figure out exactly where to place them on the opposite side, because I wanted them to be in the same horizontal direction that the letters on the other side were placed. And then I used some two-sided tape and attached the different template letter guides onto the surface of the avocado wood so that then I could use the router with the brass guide bushing to carve out those letters. Alright, if you've stuck around this long, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you stay notified when I release new project videos. Hit the bell icon next to it. This is super helpful, and yeah, thanks for watching. It's definitely a good idea to clamp down the workpiece that you will be carving, because you will be moving it around a bit when you push the router through those different template guides. Also, if you have some sort of vacuum attachment, I don't know why I didn't use the vacuum when I was doing these letters, because this DeWalt router has a vacuum attachment there at the top. Should have used the vacuum attachment, but at least I had a mask and some glasses on. If you can, always wear a mask, especially if you're not using a vacuum. Also, make sure that the cord is out of the way. You definitely do not want to hit that cord with the router, so always be aware of where the power cord is for the router. And I'm not talking from experience. Wink, wink. Here's a bit of a closer up view of this, and you can see here that the router is able to plunge into the top side of that guide bushing, and then the guide bushing is what ensures that the router moves just where the letters are. And then you'll do a carve. And you can see here I used a round cove bit, I believe is what it's called. Maybe some people call it a round bit or a bowl bit or a round nose bit. Anyways, I'll put a link in the description below. I think that this bit works really well for the shape of these letters that come with the router template guides from Rockler. I'm pretty sure that they had originally included the bit with the template guide set along with the guide bushing, but I'm pretty sure I just looked and the Amazon one does not include the bit, so make sure you get the right bit that fits through that hole in the guide bushing. That's essential, or else you won't be able to get the router bit through the guide bushing and the whole situation won't work. If you get used to using these router bits and guide bushings in combination, then you can do a lot of other stuff with this setup. You can make different guides for things like inlays, bow tie joints, that sort of thing, and it makes the whole process of cutting the area really easy. Unfortunately, though, things do slip up, and you can see here that the template guide slipped on me while I was cutting the S, and I'm going to end up having to make another patch. But to be honest, that kind of happens all the time in woodworking. There's always something that goes wrong, and you have to react in the best way possible. Which is another way of saying that you just have to fix it and move on. Because truly, if we let every mistake that happens in woodworking stop us from continuing on with the project, then we wouldn't have finished very many projects. So don't let it bring you down, just move on and figure out what's best in terms of fixing it. But before fixing that mistake, I went ahead and switched out the router bit and the guide bushing, and so that I could do the smaller letters of the "the." If you're using a router, you got to get good at working with it. Just always remember to unplug it while you're changing out the bits, which right now I didn't unplug it, and I'm beating myself up for that. It's just safer to work on a tool without the power plugged in. Anyways, I got those switched out, and I could go ahead and move on to cutting the next letters. You could do the same thing with a normal router that's not a plunge router, but just once again, make sure that the letters are attached really well to the workpiece. Then go ahead and slowly cut those letters, letting the guide bushing direct you up against those plastic letter templates. I really do love these template guides. They're super useful. So if you are interested, hit the link down in the description and you can get yourself a set of these, or a few sets depending on the different letter sizes that you want to do. And just like that, I was already finished with the 3 letters of the "the." It was super fast. This system is super fast, super useful. The one thing that I would say is that I wish that there were different fonts that you could choose from, but it kind of makes sense that there aren't, because it's tough to have a full alphabet of letters and to sell lots of different fonts that could get, endless. So they just chose this font. Anyways, you can see here that I am mixing up some more glue and sawdust to patch that S there at the end that I made a mistake on. The template guide moved, the two-sided tape didn't fully hold it onto the surface, and it moved and caused a little bit of a mistake there. Luckily I caught it in time and I turned off the machine and didn't mess it up too much, and I'm able to patch it with some sawdust and glue and actually blend it, and you can really barely notice it. Then once it dried just a little bit, I went back with the torch to match it to the other burned parts of the slab. Then it was time to remove the template guide and flip the slab over and fix the other side, which you can see here that the patch that I did to the first "the" had dried, and now I could go ahead and line up the template guides and redo the "the," but just a little bit bigger font. The other great thing with these template guides is that they can click together to make different letters. You probably already noticed that, but just wanted to point it out. Before doing the carving, I did just a little bit of burning. If you didn't see the first episode where I did a lot of burning, go check that out. Also, this is probably another good time for me to say, hit the subscribe button! Two-sided tape is super useful, and you can see that I'm using some of it to attach to the backside of the template guides, and then I use that to push up against the avocado wood. If you people out there have a different way that you would secure these letter template guides to a workpiece, let me know your ideas on that. And then just like that, I had my mask and my eye protection, ear protection on, and I was carving the letters the, or the letters that make up the, T, H, and E. Probably one of the easiest words to spell. And as you can see, it's pretty fast, super fast, really fast. And I had another the, and a lot of sawdust that I vacuumed up before taking off my mask. It's a good idea to vacuum away all of the sawdust so that you can make sure that the letter was fully cut. Sometimes things move a little bit weird with the router bit and you don't get a full clean cut, so you need to make sure to do maybe 2 cuts or 3 cuts with vacuuming in between if you don't already have a vacuum attachment. And then I could remove the clamps and the letter template guides, and you can see here that I have some pretty nice letters carved into the avocado wooden slab, cookie slab. This sign will live at a cabin that is owned by this family, the Fitz, and it will let everybody know that this is the Fitz family. I guess that's what a family name does, right? Tells you who the family is. Just like using a branding iron, which tells you who the woodworker was. And in this case, it was Second Son Woodworks. So for the last part of this episode, I'm going to be burning my brand into the bottom of the wooden slab. See here. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Hopefully you found it useful in terms of learning about letter template guides that can be used alongside a router with some brass guide bushings. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And make sure to check out the rest of this series when I release the last part. And the first part, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Build something cool. Take care.